Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Total 2 and its valuations against Bitcoin and the US dollar. Now, uh, I usually don't necessarily make like videos like this often, especially when we're evaluating on the monthly time scale. But we are nearing the end of March, oddly enough, and moving on into April. So we're kind of now looking to see where the market will close at the end of the month. And right now when we take a look, we'll have a pretty you know decent idea of what what where we're going to land, albeit something happening in the next 4 days. So let's get on to it. So March not only like now doesn't only signify the end of the month, it also signifies the end of the quarter. uh we said that Q1 would be good for altcoins, and it has to some degree. We rallied roughly, 65% against Bitcoin, and the US dollar value was like month over month over month was about 30-ish%. So roughly, a 100% increase in valuation since the beginning of Q1, around 90 to 100%. So pretty decent numbers. However, is it the like the cataclysmic move that we were expecting from the altcoin market? Well, yes and no, because when we look at say uh, 2016 January, we saw a move of about 100% against Bitcoin, and in January of 2017, we saw a valuation move of about 166%. So there's arguments to be made that to say that we haven't seen that explosive move. At the same time, you can make the argument of, well, the market's more mature, there's a lot more liquidity in the market, so obviously it's going to be harder to move up the price. Both make sense. And we won't necessarily know until months down the line. We can also see that in 2017 March, like Q2 was amazing. In fact, Q2 and like half of Q3 was like, and yeah, and Q3 were phenomenal. So we'll definitely see what happens in the next 2 quarters. Um, but uh, maybe the target now would be uh, the time when Ethereum decides to start moving again, right? We see it kind of riding down this downwards trend angle, symmetrical triangle. It's right. We haven't moved much in the month of March. We're only down 2% in the month of March. So we'll see if April brings up a rebound of some kind, or if at least able to hold the line. That's what I am looking for. If Ethereum continues to bleed, then we might, and Bitcoin stays within its price range that we always talk about, then we might see a move from altcoins, another move from altcoins on a general basis. Following that, a move of Ethereum, and then following that, a move of Bitcoin. Um, that's usually what I would attribute that the timeline to be. Um, Whether that is within the month of March, or uh, in the month of April, we simply don't know. Um, but uh, sorry, let me bring up, yeah, total two. So yeah, total two brings us. We started the quarter at around 218 billion, and here we are at 691 billion. So pretty awesome numbers, about 200% valuation in dollar terms. So you would have tripled your money if you bought all coins generally in the beginning of January and sold now. So that is something else to keep in mind. Again, we haven't. You can argue that this is the kind of explosive move that we're looking for. It kind of replicates 2016 to some degree, where we see this pretty impressive move here. Um, or in January here, where we see that steady month to month incline and then an explosive move. But again, we won't know until we're in Q2. all we can say at the moment now is all coins are doing fine. The market looks to be doing fine, I would say. There's no alarm bells ringing um, just yet. Keep in mind, however, of the extension of Bitcoin. Um, I mean, Bitcoin is pretty overextended. However, it can stay extended for a very, very long time. So don't be, don't be inclined to sell all your position yet. On a month-to-month basis, on the RSI, we're still at 91.63. We're probably going to be around that same RSI level by the end of the month, at the end of the quarter. So another thing to keep in mind, um, we're not there yet at the glass ceiling, at the RSI ceiling on the monthly scale. So there's still room to grow to the upside. Alternatively, we can drop. There's nothing holding Bitcoin from dropping. So that's also another scenario we must keep in mind. Back to altcoins. Altcoins look fine. Um, the momentum is continuing for altcoins. We're entering in our like eighth month or 6 month uh, of green monthly candles in a row, which is pretty impressive to say the least. Um, I mean, when we also look at the RSI on the total too, we're at a 90.11. The the top of it is at 100. Basically, 99.90 was the top of the RSI. Pretty impressive stuff. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Uh, Nothing to be concerned about altcoin positions yet, unless something drastic happens with Bitcoin. And at that point, it would be a conversation of, well, if Bitcoin's going up, the dollar value is probably going to be fine, but the Bitcoin valuation is going to drop. Or if Bitcoin drops altogether, then it's both US dollar and Bitcoin valuation that will be going down probably. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.